Hi, we're Twin Takeaway, and thanks for joining us today. I'm Akira,
And I'm Aurora.
and today we're going to read some stories for you. I got one of an entitled person at a medical clinic. I also have one of a time I messed up, and it's at work. And then I also have just an Ask Reddit with some question about pranks, and people share their little different pranks they've played. What stories do you have for us today, Aura?
That sounds pretty fun because April Fool's just passed, so it's good to get into some pranks and some fun times. I have some really good overreacting of some couples and a little dumb fun drama. And some sibling, am I the a-hole? And also some petty revenge.
I love it. Who knows siblings better than us? I mean,
Pretty true.
hashtag twins. All right, so let's get started today. I know we're going to start us off with our first story here. And what's the first one going to be?
The first one is Am I Overreacting? Posted to AIO, posted by No Falling 4774. Am I overreacting about my boyfriend not cutting his toenails? My boyfriend, 21 male, and I, 21 female, have been together a few months. When we started dating, he made a big deal about how hygienic I am, he really appreciates it since his ex barely showered. I agreed that hygiene is very important. Great, right? Well, not great. This man doesn't seem to realize trimming your toenails is part of hygiene. And it's not like he's a swim instructor or something where his feet get to breathe all day. He's a mechanic and he wears thick shoes for the majority of the day, crying out loud. Honestly, I wouldn't care if he had socks on, out of sight, out of mind, but here's the kicker. He enjoys scratching me with his feet. He's scratching and caressing me with his overgrown toenails. He thinks this is some kind of joke and that I'm overreacting when I start screaming and pushing him off me. I keep on asking him to cut them and he says he won't because he's growing them out for me and I like them. WTF? I swear to God, we fight about this daily, and at least every time he tries to touch me with those terrible hard yellow claws. Okay, I might be a bit dramatic, but I guess it's not the question. Am I overreacting?
No. Ew, why are they yellow, first off? But I guess because boots, they get yellow like that. But still, like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
No, thank you. To caress somebody with your toenails means they're way too long. You're not a bird or a reptile, my guy. Get rid of those toenails.
Yeah.
That is definitely part of hygiene. It's gonna get disgusting and nappy, and especially when your feet are in boots all the time and stuff for his job and stuff, they're gonna get all nasty like that and yellow. And they stay like the moisture and stuff is not caught as much and like this and that when your socks aren't like tight because they're like pulling with that nail. Ugh. So they would just be cleaner and like nicer and they would be healthier without it. Sir, you gotta clip that. How has he not gotten into a grown toenail though? That's my question. Because I used to wear docs all the time, and whenever my nails get too long, it would get an ingrown toenail because it's squishing them inward too with those boots.
Yeah, I'm surprised he
Ow.
hasn't. But if it was me, honestly, I would stop making a big deal about it. And in the night, I would just
Sir Clemento,
cut them.
that's honestly, I was kind of thinking the
Is he a
same
heavy or
thing.
light sleeper? Because I would in the
Yeah.
night. But that's just me. But
Or
I
you just
mean,
try to be like nice and be like, oh, your birthday's coming up, or like it's a holiday, or like Valentine's, let's just go get couples manicure, pedicures together. Be so cute. You can just get a clear coat, but like it'd be a fun little thing,
yeah,
like a
it'd be a cute
treat,
date.
a little like spa time, relax, get a little feet massaged. Be nice. And those little nail people will be like making them not yellow because they put that little stuff on it. They have those little potions and stuff to help it like fungus. I don't know if that one's a fungus. I can't remember what it is when your toe turns yellow, but they have all those little cleansy, little cleaner things to help you out. Might have to charge a little extra, but that's okay. It's worth it in the end. So I mean, caressing with them long little yellow nails. Ugh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw up. I was gonna
But at the same
puke.
time, like, what if you go to get mani pedis and he's like, "Yeah, you can clean them up, but don't cut them." My
She
girlfriend loves
loves it.
like this.
I would be like, but I feel like you have to go in and like tell the lady and be like, hey, I will tip you big if you just ignore him saying anything, because I know for a fact he'll probably say something to you that I love it, I don't. Clip them.
Lock his foot in.
I will, exactly. I will be chatting with him so he's distracted. Clip them nails. And big tit for you, my guy, because heck no, they got to go, boy. Yeah, no, that's disgusting. Yeah, I would try everything in my heart and soul to get rid of the nails. And I would also be like, sit them down and be like, yo, I don't like them. I don't want them touching me. I don't like that. Please.
Oh yeah.
Please just clip them. They're not, it's not
Or
hygienic.
or if you're tossing and turning in the night and there's just like jabby in the leg.
Ugh, yeah, honestly, not with the blanket. Honest, not to be like gross, but when I used to like sometimes forget to clip my nails, sometimes when I get really bad like into it, and I just don't even think about it, or like I know I'm not traveling anywhere and I'm just staying at home. Sometimes I take a minute to clip my nails. They've never been probably long enough to caress somebody, but they have been long enough to break my and rip my blanket.
Yeah,
Because they start to like shred a little bit at the end and they get pointy and
yeah,
they can
especially if
kind
she's
of rip your
saying,
blanket.
especially if she's saying claws.
Yeah.
No, those suckers are too long.
Yeah. It's like a new girl when they're like, yeah, you can hear him click clacking.
Oh my God,
Schmidt.
Schmidt.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what I
that's
thought
what
of this
that's
whole
what it
time.
is.
It's like, click, 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 like a dog.
It's his
Ew.
pogo.
Yeah. So funny. But hey, I mean, could be worse. Could be the chick that didn't shower, his ex-girlfriend. You know, showering is worse.
That's
Not
true.
clipping your nails, but clipping your nails is still disgusting. Not clipping your nails is still disgusting as hell.
It's gross, but yeah, I could probably look past it.
Yeah.
I couldn't look past not
Showering.
showering.
That would get me. So, you know, could be worse, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, it wouldn't. It honestly, none of it would be bad. Like I could probably look past him not clipping his nails as long as he wasn't caressing me with them.
Mm,
Quit touching your
yeah.
suckers,
Every
and
time
I'll
you
ignore
kept
it.
saying I was gonna throw out
Yeah, I'll ignore it. I'll let you have them if you just stop touching me with them.
facts. Oh, God dang it.
All right, top comment. You're not overreacting, but you are not communicating this correctly. I have a feeling he thinks you're joking, that your scream and huge reaction are silly and funny. If you sit down and calmly say, hey, honestly, your toenails totally gross me out. If you rub your feet on me, I will not spend time with you for the rest of the day. He will either realize you aren't playing around and are serious, or you will realize he is an a-hole and you need to end this. He replied, I've tried, but maybe not in the right way. I'll go do this very calmly now. Hopefully, it's the first option. LOL.
Yeah. Talking
Yeah.
with him is definitely because yeah, you're probably right. Versus why right. They're probably like when you're like messing with them, they're like,
Yeah.
stop. That's what they think it's like.
She loves it. Oh my gosh, she loves when we mess around.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Just sit him down and be like, dude.
I'm gonna be completely honest. That's
To be honest,
disgusting.
it's not cute.
And you got to be a little stern because he might think you're just joking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So the next story I have for you is entitled People, and it's also by A Soggy Tozy. And it's called Entitled Patient Demands to be Seen During a Medical Emergency. I just saw a similar post that reminded me of an unfortunate memory that was a few years ago now, but it never fails to aggravate me. I used to work as a receptionist at a fairly busy medical clinic. It was the day before a major holiday, so the mood was jolly and it was uncharacteristically slow on day on the office. We had a patient and his wife no show in the morning. No call, no reschedule, no nothing. Naturally, after about half an hour, their appointment is canceled. Things are running smoothly until we see a patient who was recently released from the hospital and is following up with us. They look extremely unwell. By this point, my spidey senses are tingling that something about is about to go down. Mid doctor's office, the patient suddenly loses consciousness and begins coding cardiac arrest. Everything is in literal chaos. The doctors and medical assistants are performing CPR while I'm on the phone, frantically trying to get EMS out there ASAP. The spouse is crying and screaming, and patients are slowly trickling in to witness this all in plain sight. Naturally, most people were kind and concerned, giving us space to work, silently signing in their names, taking a seat. Of course, that's during all this frenzy. The entitled patient walks in. As I'm finishing up my emergency call, They begin tapping repeatedly on the glass. Entitled patient, hey, we're here for our appointment. I hope the wait isn't going to be long. Also, it's very rude that you were on the phone when we walked in. Me, I apologize. As you can see, we're currently in the middle of an emergency. Also, your appointment was 2 hours ago. It's already been canceled. Titled patient, yeah, I know we're a little late, but can't you guys fit us in somewhere? I mean, we're already here now. Why can't we just take that person who's dying the floor's appointment? They're not going to be using it. They're actual words. Me, WTF? This is in my head. No, that's not how this works. Your appointment is canceled. You're going to have to reschedule for another day. We're currently dealing with a life or death emergency. Entitled patient, wow, this is such bull. Unbelievable. You guys could have squeezed us in this whole time. It would have taken like 5 minutes tops. The doctor could have seen us while the doctor could have seen us while the paramedics handled the other person. You all just wasted our time. We're never coming back to your office. And thank God, as long as I worked there, I never did see them again. Oh, and thankfully, our patient survived and is doing great.
That's wild.
Yeah,
They had you schedule an appointment for a reason because they can't just squeeze you in.
that's all it
First
was.
off. Second off, you see a person literally dying on the floor and you're just like, forget them. Help me.
Yeah, no, they said they're dying, so they don't need their appointment. That's even worse than that. Like they're saying, this let them die so we can use that appointment.
Appointment.
That's
Ma'am,
terrible.
we're trying to save your life. We're doing life-saving measures. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
You're lucky that I'm even helping you, and thank God she never came back. Because
Uh,
honestly, I would have been so petty if she came back.
yeah. I would have been so mad if this person came
Yeah.
back.
I would have had her wait 2 hours to bring her in the room.
Facts.
I'd be like, your
Like you
appointment?
made us wait 2 hours, we'll make you wait
Yeah,
two
I'd be like,
hours.
your appointment's at like 10, but then like her appointment's really at like noon. And then have her
Yeah.
sit in the waiting room for 2 hours.
Exactly, man. Because that's a no, dog.
Yeah,
That's so terrible.
some people.
Someone in the comments said, I used to work at a clinic where unfortunately it wasn't common for people to pass out slash collapse. Had one person collapse in the door and people literally stepped over him and us helping him to get into the clinic.
I believe it.
Yeah. And then it says another person, but it reminds me of a story of a flight attendant told me about performing CPR on a passenger in the mid of the aisle, mid flight. And a seated passenger nearby was right in their glass for them to refill it. While they're doing CPR, just like, hello.
Can you
Like,
stop there for a
damn,
minute?
dude.
I need
Like,
more. I need another drink.
I never would have thought how many people in medical emergencies, other people were like, it's not that big of a deal. It's a medical
Well,
emergency. CPR
yeah,
means like
I
they're
would
rising
think
up.
that, but then at the same time, I've seen some of those YouTube videos with the social experiments where
That's
like
true.
people are like approaching kids in a weird way or trying to kidnap somebody to see how people react, and
Yeah.
people just go,
Yeah. I
okay,
mean, I guess I kind of get the bystander effect, but like to like fully like ask for someone's attention when they're like saving someone's life. But you're right. I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I'm a
some
little more
people,
surprised about some of the people that like overlook some of the crazy stuff that happens in some of those experiments. So that's true. I didn't think that through, but I was like, God dang, there's a lot of people in these comments giving stories kind of similar to this. And I was like, that is crazy,
yeah,
dude.
some people could not care less about others.
I see that. So wild. Like how many people like when is it gonna make someone realize? Is it gonna be like last time when they stole the guy's keys? Did someone have to go to like a hard length and be kind of really mean to somebody for them to like click with them? Like you don't need to be entitled. You don't
That
need in
or
this moment.
that or they end up in a life-saving situation and someone's like, hi, can you help
True
me? Can
that.
you help me out though? And then they're
No,
gonna
you're
be
right.
like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I can't believe they were asking for help while I was on the floor dying. Yeah, and you know what? You've done that. So
Yeah. No, you're right. Karma. Karma
karma.
needs to come back for them. It's to make them probably fully realize, like, God dang, dude, like, seriously, someone's like dying and they're trying to help them and you're trying to be rude. So you're right, karma. Hopefully, hopefully teaches some of these people lessons, but hopefully not in such a scary way. I guess.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a little some, but nothing like that crazy. See what happens, I guess.
All right. This next one is from AITAH, posted from Iron Man 27. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give up my honeymoon suite for my sister's wedding night? 29 male, my wife, 28 female, and I got married last year. But due to financial reasons, we postponed our honeymoon until this year. We finally booked a week-long trip at a beautiful resort, and we specifically chose a honeymoon suite with a private balcony and an ocean view. Now, my sister, 25 female, just got engaged, and she and her fiance decided to have a quick wedding at the same resort. Our parents are helping with the cost, so my sister and her fiance booked a standard room, not the honeymoon suite. A few weeks before our trip, my mom called me and said it would be so special if my wife and I switched rooms with my sister and her fiance for just one night so they could have a real honeymoon experience on their wedding night. I said no because my wife and I planned this trip a long time. And we paid extra for the honeymoon suite. Now my mom and sister are calling me selfish, saying that I should understand how important a wedding night is. And that I already had my wedding a year ago. My dad thinks I should just do it and keep the peace, but my wife is firmly on my side. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give up my honeymoon suite for one night? Short edit, I went no contact with my sister and mother.
No, most definitely not. I mean, you paid extra for that. You were planning this whole thing. You bought this room. It's not on you to that they decided at last minute to make their wedding there.
Yeah.
Cause it sounded like they got engaged recently, but they haven't like set their wedding stuff up. They just decided to do it on this trip. That's on them. Then if I knew that, they should have booked that room sooner.
Or just go tell you a wedding date to come here and not just do it because your trip is ready there.
Yeah,
They should just be like, okay, yeah, tell me how the resort is. Maybe I'll book it. We can have my wedding there. And then after, then you tell them how it was, this, that, whatever. Then they can book their honeymoon suite and they can have their wedding there.
facts. And if you want to keep the piece, you can give it to her. But I would be like, you're gonna pay me back the amount of this room, and then I'm gonna upcharge you too,
Yeah.
and then we'll swap rooms. Because no, thank you. I paid extra. I paid. It's probably way more extra than the other room. Because they
Oh,
got a regular basic room and now one of the other like nicer S rooms instead of a honeymoon suite. Then they definitely paid extra for that room though.
yeah. Especially for that good of like a ocean view.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I would be so mad if they started calling me selfish for that when all I wanted to do was um hey Olive. But yeah, I'd be mad if they came in when all I wanted to do was spend time with my wife and like they're saying like your wedding was a year ago. Yeah, a lot of people don't have it right after anymore. A lot of the times it's about a year or so out.
Yeah, or some people do something like a honeymoon, but it's something cheaper, smaller, and then they want to do a more extravagant thing later on when they have more money
Yeah.
because you just spent a ton on this wedding. But some people still do like a honeymoon, but you do something less extravagant, less something that a typical person would do, and then you spend more money on a later trip. Usually, most people seem to do it around their 1 year anniversary. So, saying 1 year, which I didn't catch the first time, definitely makes it seem like they could be one of those couples that like did something small and then for your like around your anniversary within that year of your anniversary you go on your more extravagant like lavish more honeymoon and
Yeah.
you kind of do more of a bigger event for yourself.
All right, top comments. I'm selfish. This is in quotes. I'm selfish for wanting to keep the room I booked and paid for before you even got a ring.
But
I think you need to take another look at this situation and realize that I'm not the one being selfish. Call the resort and make sure they know you are the one checking in for the room and it's not for the wedding. They might try to spin it so they get it first. True. Um, Someone else said, especially since sister's ID will have the same maiden name, same name as OP. Yeah,
True
because they
that.
technically have the same last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would for sure make sure they know. Hey, just so you know, it's not the married couple. This is our actual names, not our just our maiden name, our last names. So that
Facts.
way people would know.
Let's go on to our next one here. And this is a time I effed up story. And it's being a post by Laura Amy. And this is time I effed up by believing a work prank on April 1st and embarrassing myself in front of everyone. At work, my boss sent out an all staff email saying that the company was implementing 4-day work week experiment starting next month. We would all get Fridays off with full pay as long as productivity remained high. I nearly lost my mind with excitement. I even replied, "This is amazing, best boss ever," before reading the rest of the email where he mentioned how this was part of a global initiative called April Fools for Better Work Life Balance. Realizing my mistake, I tried to unsend the email, but it was too late. People were already reacting with laugh emojis in the company group chat. To make it worse, my boss personally replied, "Glad to see you're passionate about work life balance. Unfortunately, your excitement is also part of the experiment how easily employees fall for corporate jokes." But that's not even the worst part. Feeling like a fool, I went home and told my roommate about it, and he tried to comfort me by saying, "Hey, at least you weren't my friend who fell for the fake celebrity death hoax today." That's when I made time I have to number two. I immediately pulled out my phone and went, "Wait, who died?" He just stared at me like, "Dude, that was the prank." So, yeah, my entire day was a long chain of getting clowned on. More of the story, triple check everything on April 1st, or just trust no one.
Yeah, 100% just don't trust no one. But if it was me, I would have been like, obviously my reply email was sarcastic, you guys. I would have played it off like, obviously you guys fell for my joke. I was just joking, best boss ever. Like, hashtag best boss ever.
Yeah, I would have definitely, by the time you start to realize it and you're about to unsend it, I would have just messaged it again and be like, "Hey, check your desk. I hid you a gift of a $50,000 gift card," or something crazy. Like be crazy and just say that, like make it seem like you're giving something to your boss because he's the best boss ever, and really go up the bit. You one up it and keep trying to like send like another email, trying to one up it so you like seem like you were joking and trying to not make yourself as much of a fool.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's gonna be people that are like, they obviously fall for it that they send in two different emails, but at least it'll still be funny, and you're not being clown because you're also funny, and not just being clown because you fell for it. So at least you get a little ha ha in there, like, oh, he's also a funny guy in the office.
Yeah, I would have put like something in front of their office or something that said like best boss ever or paper or something like to make
Yeah,
jokes about it, just to play it off as like this was all a joke.
yeah.
Then the only person who knows you actually fell for it and it was all a gag is your roommate. And then you know what? Yeah, you would have
Yeah.
would still been embarrassed the second time with your roommate, but it's okay, it's okay. It's just one person, not the whole office.
Exactly. And it's your roommate. Sounds like y'all have a good little vibe going that you did tell him your embarrassing day. And he
Yeah.
wasn't trying to be mean to you or anything or play a joke on you. He was just telling you about a friend's story and you just happened to fall for it. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but you might be a little gullible, and that's okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I can't hate on that. I used to be really gullible people
You
that people were like, when you spell orange backwards, it spells gullible. I was the person that tried to do it.
Oh yeah.
Or you'd be like, "Hey, what's on the ceiling? Is that gullible?"
Oh
And,
yeah.
and you look up,
You
you're
used
like,
to fall for
ah,
everything.
yeah. And
Yeah.
now that's why I'm good on April 1st because I
I
don't
trust
believe no
nothing.
one.
I have to Google all my facts now. Yeah,
Exactly.
especially since especially with our cousins, how they told us like twins don't exist.
Yeah.
And they're like, twins actually aren't like a real thing. Like one of you has to be an alien, just so you know. And then we were
Yeah.
always like, oh my God, who's the alien? Who's the alien? Which one of us? And then
Exactly.
like, and then like, mom broke it to us like, no, twins are real.
It's a thing,
Yeah,
science.
and then I met my first twin like years later, and I was like, cool, it's true.
There's more of us out there.
There's more of us out there. It's not fake. I get it. Twins are really weird, and but they are real.
So funny.
Or what's the other one that we fell for? Oh, moths. The moths
Yes,
don't
them
just eat
chewed.
through. Yeah, even though they chew through sweaters, they can
They chew
chew
through
through
your
you as
hand.
well. and you shouldn't catch them. Man, we fell for some stuff with our cousins.
Yeah,
Never believe someone just because they're older.
exactly. Someone commented, F you was by your boss. 4-day work weeks have been trialed successfully in better work life balance. It's something you would want for your staff, not to get punchline. The second one, though, how often did you look up gullible in the dictionary when you were a child? This comment got me because I was like, honestly, me. I literally fell for everything. Like when we lived in Ohio, I was like the bunch of our friends when they wanted to throw a joke out there
Always.
because I always would get out by it. I would always laugh. Like it was funny for me. It was a hoot. And people thought at a certain point I think that I was playing along with it. But honestly it just got me every time. I let them believe that.
That's what I'm saying. This person just has to figure out how to roll with it to where it seems like they're playing along with the joke, even though they straight up just don't know.
Yeah. So funny. Yeah, most of the comments are just kind of talking about 4-week work weeks are kind of better. If you are kind of giving like things that but so funny. But another one that isn't as I would have read your reply as a passive aggressive shot at your boss. The laughs were not necessarily at you, and your boss's reply went over the line. This is not a place for to be long term, which is true. That's true. Some people could just be like thinking like you already were playing into the bit and were like laughing at you as like and not to clown you, but to be like, oh my god, that's so funny. I love that you played back into his joke. Some people probably weren't taking it that way, and I guess your boss made it seem like you didn't realize it was April 1st. So, I mean, that's true. You could have been playing into the joke and they didn't even know it, and then your boss did kind of like throw you under the bus and be like, thanks for falling into the experiment of April Fool,
Yeah.
whatever.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I would have just replied like it was a joke email. But that's what I'm saying was it easily fit like playing along. It sounded like the people replying at work were saying like, "Oh my God, so funny. You fell for it even before the boss said anything."
Maybe.
I think this person is just naturally really gullible. And I think with the reply, people just kind of knew.
Yeah.
Classic so and so. Always falling for it.
It was mostly just people were just mostly just laugh reacting. Like people
Oh,
were just doing
okay.
a laugh react and just putting a laughing emoji in the chat. Just like a haha, that's so funny. So it still definitely could be taken either way of like they're laughing because like you actually like fell for it, or they're laughing because like dad you sent out a goofy reply back and kind of played into the bit of it all. So you
That's
don't
true.
really know which way they were going, but you know that they were laugh reacting. So they at least found something funny, and this person just knows how gullible they are, probably that they just kind of more took it of like the fact that people are gullible, or these people do know they're gullible, or at least the
Yeah,
boss might know they're gullible, and that's why they're like the
that's
boss is like
true.
they fell
She
for
could have
it.
been reading too much into it in her head
Yeah,
because she knows she's gullible and she
or because
fell
she
for
knows
it.
she didn't finish the email, now she just feels kind of dumb.
Yeah,
So it could go either way, but yeah, I would have. My thing though, I would have played into the bit.
me too.
I would have sent another follow up email playing hardcore into this bit, kept it
Or with
going.
like everyone's laugh reacts, you send like a Michael Scott meme with like a world's best boss mug in it
Yeah,
or something like that, or put it on her office so everyone just kind of goes, "Ah, she's really funny."
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely gotta up the ante on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're there next year, April Fools, now you gotta find a way to up the ante of doing something else like goofy like that to your boss
Mhm.
back. And then keep it like as a little thing now going. So now you don't feel as dumb and like kind of get that one over kind of vibes. But so funny. Here's for your next story here.
All right. My next story is some petty revenge, posted by Shiny Things and Stuff. Well, she wanted some and she got some. About 5 years ago, my husband started to get too close to a woman in our running club. She friended him on social media, then they were messaging a lot. I saw it all happening and called him on it, only to have him tell me it was nothing, they were just friends. BS. Finally, I happened to be using a printer and he was out. His computer was on and his messenger was on an open tab. Of course, I looked at it. It confirmed everything. Not only that they were messaging all the time, but they had met up once and kissed. Then he seemed to not be responding to her the same way anymore, and often waited a long time before responding at all. She kept trying to get him to go to her place or meet up with her. She was putting me down and criticizing her marriage. He wasn't responding to those messages. I confronted him and he admitted it all. He said it went too far and he wanted to work on our marriage. Of course, I was angry and hurt, but I know he was wrong for what he did. He was absolutely not innocent. We agreed to give it a real try for 2 months and then reevaluate. I also insisted that he block her on everything. He did. She then started emailing him at home and at work. She texted him, she called him. He did not respond to any of it and told me about it. After 2 month mark, we were better than ever, and she was still doing it. I arranged a glitter bomb of penis-shaped glitter to be delivered to her at work. She must have figured out it was me eventually because she stopped. Last I heard, she was fired from the job because she had an affair with one of the owners. And the best revenge is that my husband and I have been married for 10 years now, and we're still doing very well.
Oh, jeez, Louise. But that's a pretty good revenge, but also just like that's a crazy thought. Like, I don't know if my first thought would be maybe a glitter bomb would be my first thought, but to put like the penis shaped glitter and stuff in it, I don't think that would be my first thought. So that's a
But
pretty
that's what she
good.
wanted.
No, I get it. I get it.
She wanted
That's
it.
what I'm saying.
She got it.
That's clever as heck. That's like some good thinking through on that one. But I don't think that would have been my first thought. But I love it. That's a fun one. And glitter bombs are hard as heck, and that work probably is mad for that cleaning of
Oh,
a
yeah.
glitter bomb.
A bunch of penises all over
Jesus.
work.
Yeah. And glitter just like it takes forever to get out. So you probably have
Yeah.
to pay like a special like cleaner to come and get that
But then
out.
in the end, everyone was like, that was fitting because she ended up sleeping with one of the owners.
Honestly, yeah. Facts, bro. And I'm also like, she was like, she probably figured it was me. Unless you sleep with other people's husbands, I don't think it's that hard to figure out it was you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, makes sense. But that's hilarious.
All right. Top comments. Glitters is the herpes of craft supplies. It only makes sense. Um, I don't know if that's what I
With
would
the
call
type of
it.
glitter she has, that's a crazy comment to say.
That's
And I love it. Oh my
And then
gosh.
someone said, I'd give you a slow clap, but you know. Oh, and then the person who said the herpes one, they commented to that slow clap and said, with glitter on your hands, that'd be a dick move.
Oh my gosh, this was has some good puns with it, man. That's hilarious.
And someone called it, that goes double for tallywhacker shaped glitter. I've never heard the word tallywhacker in my life.
That's like in it's almost like I think it's Kevin Hart who says Tatty Knackle. His Tatty Knackle was on the phone. It makes me think of that.
It's true. I forgot
I've
about
never
that.
heard that one, but it's very similar to that. It's very similar to the Kevin Hart one.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. No, stop.
That's hilarious. But I'm gonna start using that.
And someone else replied, there's also a website where you can order and have a bags of candy dicks delivered to people, a message inside the package saying something like, you're an asshole, eat a bag of dicks, or some kind of variance of it.
I'm dead. That's funny. She should have done both. That would have been funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not mad about what she did, but you should have upped it. Yeah. Always up the ante, you know?
Although, that one's funny, and that's more of like, I might send that to my friends just as a joke, just a bag of dicks, but the glitter is just rude. So I'm
Yeah.
glad it was the revenge.
No, I feel like you can't just do this the other one just because the glitter is the best revenge. Glitter bombs is the best revenge on anyone. If I've heard any of the stories on revenge things that has glitter in it, it's gonna be one of the best because glitter is the hardest to sell to clean out.
Glitter's the worst.
It's literally a nightmare.
Yeah, I try to avoid glitter at all costs.
Yeah, everybody does, except for crafters, but they know how to keep it
Contained.
contained.
I can't keep it
Yeah, 'cause I used
contained.
to work with a lady that makes like cups, and she worked with a lot of glitter. And she really tried to keep it contained
Yeah.
because glitter can get when it gets out of hand, it gets out of hand, and it's
Oh
hard
my
to
gosh. And
clean.
then if I keep finding it, like next thing you know, I'm kind of like conspiracy Charlie from Always Sunny. I'm just like, glitter! There's still glitter!
Yeah,
I go crazy.
exactly. I'm gonna go insane. All right. So now we're gonna go to our little last thing. This one is gonna be kind of like in the past that we've done. It's a question, and then there's just a bunch of little replies back in the comments of people answering back to the question. And this is gonna be on Ask Reddit. Okay, this is going to be on the subreddit Ask Reddit, and it's what are your best past or future prank ideas for April Fools? Have you been scheming or cultivating a subtle plot for the past few months, or do you feel a water balloon in the face and the height of a prank and inaugurate and the height of a prank ingenuity? Ingenuity? Is that what that says? Ingenuity?
Yeah, ingenuity.
Okay. Oh, ingenuity.
Mhm.
Fucking A. Okay. Or do you fill water balloons in the face and in the height of a prank ingenuity? Let's fill the thread with 100 of dastardly ideas in the run up to April Fools. This takes place over a few days, but holy hell is it worth it. Step 1. Buy a wig. Put it on something resembling head. Ideally a mannequin head, but really any round object will do. Step 2. Place head with the wig in the target's bed so that it's partially visible under the covers. Place pillows under the covers to make it look like a person. Step 3. When they go to sleep, they'll get mildly frightened and surprised at the fake person in their bed. You're probably thinking, what a lame prank. Don't worry, the best is yet to come. Repeat step 2 a few nights in a row, then they get used to it. Then step 4, after a few nights, wear the wig yourself, hide under the covers. They will grab the fake head, toss it aside as usual, at which point you let loose a blood-curdling scream. And then step 5, clean up their poop.
Honestly, that would get me. I would freak out.
Yeah, man, that one is crazy to like kind of like warm them up to it. You're like, okay, this is funny, it's so funny. Another mannequin head in my bed. Ah. And
But
then at the end, you just have someone
if it started
screaming.
screaming, like I would feel bad because I would more than likely probably punch my friend.
Yeah.
I don't do well with jump scares. I'm more of a fight than a flight.
Well, I don't know.
I
I feel
might
like it.
fight then flight.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a punching and running. I don't
I
know
don't know.
what I
If you
punch.
start, if someone starts screaming, it's a hairstyle that you don't know. Besides this, that keeps repeating in your bed, unless it's like a roommate and you know there's only one other person who lives in your house. What if you don't know which one of your friends is in your house doing this to
Yeah.
you? And then this person comment to them, my sister's a cosplayer and we have mannequin heads and wigs aplenty. Mom and dad are in for a good one. Thanks for the idea. And the person said, your sister's going to get punched in the face so hard. So I guess you're right. People are going to that level that they might get punched in the person. I feel like if someone's screaming though, I feel like most people would probably just like bolt. But I guess because like
You never know.
the paranormal side of me thinks if I hear a noise and especially a blood curdling scream, I bolt. But I guess I don't know what I do in this situation, but I want to hope in myself and believe in myself that I just bolt and not try to fight because I don't know what's in my bed.
Well, I mean, if your hand's already on it,
They grab the wig and throw it.
that's what I'm saying. Like if your hand's already on it to like toss it, if I grabbed it and it started screeching, I'd probably just be like, and then scream and run.
Oh, so you're thinking like they're not letting the wig go. I was thinking like they're gonna already snatch the whole wig off and throw it, and someone starts screaming while you're already throwing the wig, so you're not near them anymore.
Oh
So
no,
I would just be
I
like,
think as
ow.
soon as you grabbed the person's head, you're supposed to start screaming.
Oh, okay. I think
And if
I'm
my
just
hand's already on something, I'm just gonna shove the head,
okay. Okay, I get
punch,
it.
run.
I think you're right. Yeah, yeah. Defend, keep them in place. I get it. Stun them.
Yeah, because I'd be like, what the heck?
Yeah. My mom is a high school teacher. April 1st rolls around. She decides to prank her students in order for the prank to be successful. She includes one student in her plan. So the day before she tells this kid, we'll call him Brad, to take one of her old phones to class with him the next day, and she tells Brad to pull out the phone and text in class. Brad agrees the next day when Brad starts texting using the mole phone. My mom promptly holds her lecture, walks up to Brad, takes the phone right out of his hands, chucks it out the damn window. It's 2 stories. And the look on as my mom described it, on the faces of her students was priceless. No one laughing, no one smiling, just sheer raw horror. Always loved that one. Never done a prank quite like it. Someone commented back, my cousin is a high school teacher, does something similar where he plants an old phone on a student and tells them to text in class. He proceeds to catch them texting, and then he goes in the desk, and until he finds the hammer, begins demolishing the phone on the desk in front of all his students.
Oh my gosh.
Same cousin has also popped quizzes on April Fools for his history classes, which contain knowledge they did not cover, and so on. Also, one year he and another teacher told the students that because of budget concerns, they'd have to teach in the same classroom for 2 different classes. And the 2 teachers proceeded to teach their subject to their students at the same time, making hectic note taking period for them. Honestly, any of these, okay, the phone one would kind of probably throw me. I'd probably be a little like, damn. I think the pop quiz one would be my worst nightmare though. And in the talking over teachers, I feel like that's one of those days that you just like forget I'm not right.
Yeah, that'd be my doodle day.
Yeah.
Those are some really good teacher pranks, though.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I saw someone throw their phone, because I've had it where it wasn't a prank, I have had a teacher throw a kid's phone, not out a window, but just like chuck it, and everyone was
Yeah.
like, "What the heck?" And then I got in trouble because I started laughing. Like it was so random. I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah. Who's not gonna laugh? Honestly, I'd probably laugh in all these situations.
Yeah. Oh, plus
But we're
I'm
also
an
just big laughers.
yeah, I'm a all scenarios laugher. If I'm feeling awkward, I'm gonna laugh. If I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna laugh. If I'm mad, I'm gonna laugh.
If I'm nervous, I'm gonna
I'll
laugh.
laugh.
If it's funny, I'm gonna laugh.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be caught there, and I'm just gonna be like, what? And
Yeah.
then they start laughing. So honestly,
Yeah.
like I would be laughing so hard, and like this stun would be like, what the heck?
Exactly.
But
Oh.
that is a good one. That's a good one, especially the hammer one. Just like demolish it, because like
Yeah.
you know what? If you have insurance or whatever, your phone's probably okay with being thrown out the window. Demolishing with a hammer is crazy.
It is. You can't even try because if you throw it out of the window, it's probably like the screen's probably broken. Okay, you probably have insurance to fix the screen. You probably have insurance to fix the whole phone, but now you have to wait for an entire new phone. You can't even just go to a place to get your screen fixed. You're
Yeah,
gonna have to fix your whole phone. Like he smashed it up. Like that's crazy.
yeah.
And he said he did it till it fully was demolished. So he's not even like letting up at all.
Oh yeah.
So funny. I wish our teachers like back in school ever had good pranks, but no one ever did a good prank ever in schools. I feel
No.
like it wasn't on April Fools. We're the only people I know that ever did a prank in school. Besides senior prank, but our senior prank was lame. But only people I know did prank was kind of us in 5th grade on the last day of school when we switched classrooms to see if our teachers would notice, since being twins, and our teachers did not notice. Well, my teacher noticed pretty quick after like an hour. Your teacher did not notice, was deep in her lecture, and a kid tried to point out the prank, and he got ripped into for interrupting her during lecture. And I'm just sitting there like, because I know it was my fault because he's trying to tell her that I swapped with you. And I felt so bad for this kid in your class.
She was a good
But
teacher. She was a little oblivious.
yeah.
For her to get mad was normal because me and him talked too much.
Yeah. And she probably thought we were messing
Yeah,
around.
and she's like,
Also, I just knew that kid and he messes around a lot. So I get why she got angry, but at the same time, I felt bad because it was our fault.
yeah.
But she was an older teacher. My teacher, like, it was his first year teaching, was pretty young. So he just kind of knew the vibes. I also talk a lot, so people just kind of recognize me sometimes.
Yeah.
But she did not know one bit, and that poor kid. I felt so bad. But it was still a good prank, though. Because it was the last day. We weren't learning anything. I don't know why she was actually, like, giving, like, teaching. Because it's not like there was any tests. It was literally the last day of school.
Yeah.
And my class was, like, doing games. So I was kind of mad I swapped with you, but whatever. Another person was, I filled the window of my boss's office with styrofoam peanuts. From the outside, it appeared the whole office was full. From the inside, you can see they were held up by bags. I set up a camera in the hallway to record this horrific reaction as he walked up. The best part was minimal cleanup, which honestly, in this person also put economical, clever, fairly easy, yet still not quite as entertaining as filling someone's room with styrofoam peanuts. It would have been better to do with styrofoam peanuts, but they're right. I feel like because it's your boss, you might get a kind of a little bit of
Yeah.
reprimand from it. So it's easier just to be something like, I'm a office, and then you like walk in. It's
Also,
not,
if you're like a one-man job, that's not too bad.
yeah.
But we have kind of done that. So at my last workplace, we did do that to our boss on his birthday
Oh, done.
with balloons. And so
Uh-huh.
like it was probably over half his office was filled with balloons.
Oh,
Like
wow.
if I was in there, you probably barely only see my head because I'm 5'3", 5'2", so you wouldn't really see me too well in there. But they did put a lot in there. But then luckily his kids came for his birthday. So then it worked out anyways because then you open it up and all the balloons fell out and then all the kids got to play with them and like pop them and stuff. So we didn't really have to dispose of them. The
Yeah.
kids did that. It was just the putting them, like filling them up and putting them in that everyone had to do.
Dang, that is a pretty good one. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And balloons, yeah, like that. You had a lot of people, but balloons are also just bigger in general. Imagine styrofoam peanuts you have to stuff in there
I couldn't
and to
imagine
do
buying that
it.
many.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be crazy. So those are the good April Fool's one. We could do another one if you want, or you want to stop.
Yeah, do one more April Fools.
Okay, let's see. This one's a little bit longer. Let's see what this one is. When my wife and I were dating for about a year, April Fools came around. We have a good relationship with her parents. We all like each other very much. As a prank, I suggested to my wife that we tell her parents that she is pregnant. She told me it was a great idea. I came home from work a few hours later and she calls her mom on the speakerphone. Hey mom, guess what? I'm pregnant. Her mom instant reaction was, Nick, you piece of shit. What the F is wrong with you? How dare you do something like this? Then her dad chimes in. What's going on? She says, Jess is pregnant. I'm going to effing kill him. Nick, you are effing dead. Then their dog starts barking at me. I'm begging my wife to tell him it was a joke. She doesn't. She continues with it. I thought you would make us happy. Wrong. They continue screaming at me, making threats, calling me names, threatening to take me to court. I'm practically in tears because I was so close with them. Finally, her mom says, April Fools just called us an hour ago and told us what you guys were planning.
Oh my gosh. I was about to say, oh my God, he just figured out how this family really feels about him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no.
And someone put, let's be honest, you deserved it if you actually thought that was a good prank idea. Honestly,
I hate the
I
I'm
hate the
pregnant or
pregnant ones or the divorce ones or the cheating ones. All those are like, that's too far. You're taking it too far.
yeah.
It's not a prank anymore. You're making it too serious. So that's true. That's a good little revenge to be like, that's not a funny prank, but I'll up it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll run with it. I'll up it. The
Up the
ante.
ante.
So that is prime. I know when I started it, I was like, I haven't read this one yet. And I was like, oh no, it's going to be a pregnant one. I hate the pregnant ones. So I'm glad they turned it around on him. That
Yeah,
was
that's a good
hilarious.
one. You
I
piece of
love it.
shit. I'm gonna kill you.
I know they were coming at
Even
him.
the dog.
I love the dog joint in. Oh my god, I was dead.
Yeah, even the dog's in the background like, get him. Yeah, get him. Get him. We're gonna get him.
And I love the wife just in seven. She just lets you like about to break down. He's like,
Yeah.
stressing out. He's like, tell him to stop. Tell him it's a
Stop.
joke.
Stop. Tell him to stop. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
And you know from here, it's going to be a prank war on out from this marriage.
Oh yeah.
And I love it. I love a good prank war type relationship as long as you keep him in pranks. And hopefully he keeps in pranks because he doesn't seem like he knows pranks because saying you're pregnant's not really a prank.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
or he's gonna end up being like
yeah,
Winston,
Winston New Girl.
Frank Sinatra. It's either too big or too small.
Yeah, feather foot. Check your shoe. There's a feather in your shoe.
Tickle, tickle.
Oh,
Yeah, and
God.
that's why I can't do pranks. I'm not a prank person because everything I think of is either too big or too small.
Yeah.
I don't know the sweet spot.
Yeah.
I'm too nervous. I'm gonna hurt somebody's feelings.
Same. I would love to be a prank person, but I don't think I'm a clever, I feel like person. I'm pretty witty in my like comments stuff.
Yeah.
I'm pretty like fast with it. I'm pretty like humorous. I'm pretty creative making things up. But I can't say in a prank way. None of those things actually end up helping me. I don't think I'm a good pranker. But I wish I could be because honestly, pranks always seem fun and prank wars are always a blast on. And like, it's not really pranks, but every Halloween when we used to have a roommate, we would always do like a little like
The scare
prank kind of thing of
competition.
a scare competition, which was as close as I probably could get to a prank war. I always lost because I'm not good at scaring people, which already right there should tell me I shouldn't prank either.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it. I'm not clever. I'm pretty sure I would already start buying or to give it away for the mannequin head one. I'm not the best at it.
But see, that's what I'm thinking with that mannequin head one was that's what I'm saying. With those scare little wars we did as roommates, like every time someone would jump on a corner at me, I just you did too. So I don't
I
know
mean,
why you're
yeah,
saying you would just throw the rig and run. That's a lie.
because I feel like because I wasn't thinking I'm still
Yeah,
on the
okay.
head. I was thinking I already pulled the wig off
That's
and I'm
true.
back here now. I'd bounce. But yes, if I'm up close and personal and they start screaming, I'm
Yeah.
gonna obviously
That's what I'm
fight.
saying. We're just like
So that's true. Yeah. Once
that's
you
why those
said
prank
that,
wars, they weren't for us
yeah,
because the amount of times people almost got hurt because I barely catch it. I'm like staring at my friend.
yeah.
I'm like, sorry, I know we're doing this, but it still gets
I
me.
feel like usually in my position I'm in, because even like when our friends did that, if I'm further away, it'd be a run. But if I'm up close and personal when they get me, it's always a fight.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I'm far enough away and if someone pranks me, they're probably safe. Probably, I'm gonna go with probably
Yeah. Can't confirm nor deny.
because even when you still wake me up for like school every once in a while because I'd oversleep my alarm, I would come in swinging when people wake me up. So I mean, yeah, I'm a pretty fight person, but I can go into flight if I'm far enough away. But hilarious. So, what's your main takeaways from today's episode?
Up the ante. Always petty revenge. Um, even petty revenge if it's something like the email from the boss. I would have upped it and did a little petty revenge with a little bit of like Michael Scott jokes, pictures everywhere, hashtag boss, blah blah blah, making fun of her. Or even with the phone one, maybe I would have, even though I'm in on it and he like threw my phone, I think I would have been like, "Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?" I would up the ante, made it like having a better joke back, just like that husband and family one. I think that would have been really fun, where you like go back and up the prank and prank them back with
Mhm.
that prank. So definitely up the ante and just like a little bit of revenge it back and see what you can play back off to the other person.
I like it. I like it. I like the idea of the up the ante takeaway. That's actually a really good one because then you can even do that for the first story of like his little long gross nails.
Uh-huh.
You can go get like a manicure of like super long fingernails and just start just caressing his face with it and
Yeah,
just like rubbing him with it and
yeah,
like make him grossed out by long nails. Up the ante on him. Flip the book. That's a good one. Yeah.
that's true.
For pranks, regular scenarios, always I feel like up in the ante might be the way to go sometimes. Teach people their lesson. Even maybe for like the entitled people, up the ante, like make it real dramatic, like, if I die, it's on you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, up the ante. Get them. You know?
Yeah.
Make it dramatic. You gotta do stuff up, you know? So, up the ante. I like that. I think that's gonna be our main takeaway from today's episode.
Yeah,
And
honestly, we're probably gonna have to name this up the ante.
yeah, yeah. And in the comments, share your thoughts about the stories below. And then also maybe share where you would up the ante, even in a story in your own life, or even just in these stories in general. If how would you up the ante? How would you make the bit bigger? Keep going with it. Or even just share some fun little April Fool's things that you did. And that we would love to hear your April Fool's stories. And then maybe just share the reactions back. Did someone play you back? Maybe you pranked them last year and they pranked you this year. Share some good little fun stories of like a little back and forth, little ante to ante, a little bit to bit. We love to hear it. And thanks for joining us today and thanks for listening to our stories.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.